That's cool.
Hey guys, welcome to
I didn't do it. Alright, we'll do it again.
Are you gonna say hey guys together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys!
I was counting down. Okay.
Hey guys!
Welcome to our channel. Today we'll be giving you 10 useful tips for your first time in
Europe! So tip number 1, a lot of things are not free in Europe. Like a lot of things here in America that we're used to, sadly. So water is one of them. When you go to a restaurant, you probably have to pay for it, most likely. Condiments, like ketchup, mustard, mayo, you think about it, if you touch it, if you open it, that's it going on the bill. And also bread. So if they put like a basket of bread and you touch anything there, yeah, that's also going on the bill.
Also in Europe, bathrooms are also not free, so it's most likely you need to pay roughly from 50 cents to €1, depending the currency of your country. And it's like usually a stall, then you put the little coins or a dollar bill and then you go in.
Yeah, or just use a tree. Just kidding, don't do that. Tip number 2, learn basic phrases. If you don't know the language, which is like the case for a lot of people going to Europe and also traveling to a lot of different countries, if you research the language and not just like, I don't mean like study the language and become fluent, but like just learn simple phrases, like locals really appreciate that.
I think they appreciate more the effort that you're doing to say a certain language. I feel like one of the biggest stereotypes in Paris is that, oh, Parisians are so rude, blah, blah, blah. We had the complete opposite experience in Paris because we would say bonjour, bonsoir, and not like immediately go to speaking in English.
Especially cities or countries that have stereotypes that are cold towards tourists. A lot of times they just want a little bit of appreciation towards their own culture before they open up to you, so.
Definitely. Tip number 3, use public transportation. And Europe has like one of the fastest and most reliable public transportations. It might be a little hard to navigate first because it might be in a different language, but it's very easy to pick on and the tickets are usually relatively cheap.
And on top of that, if you don't want to use public transportation, like it's a late night out and it's not working because a lot of times they stop working either at like 12 or 1, you could just use Uber. Tip number 4, be aware of pickpockets. Europe is relatively safe in most countries. You don't really have to worry about any crimes except the sneaky ones, like pickpocketing. If you have a purse or pocket, especially like in the summer, you're most likely to fall for pickpocketing. That's when you have to watch out because people will actually walk past you and next thing you know, you're missing your wallet. And also, don't just assume what a pickpocketer looks like. They look just like a regular person, just like you or me, because obviously they wouldn't look sketchy. They're very smart about it.
I think also it's really important when you're using public transportation, most pickpocketers will travel in groups and will kind of just like be with friends, just talking, and then you wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
But that's where they catch you. What I like to use is a fanny pack because you could see what's in front of you. Tip number 5, go to local supermarkets and markets. I cannot stress enough the joy I have going to a supermarket in Europe. They have so much type of food, so much variety, and everything is so cheap. And then you could get like some pastries, you could get hams, so you could take it back to your hotel room or Airbnb, and you could just like make a sandwich.
Yeah.
I just find everything so cheap, and like it's not like here, like, and there's so much variety, and it's so good. I just love markets and supermarkets. Also, you have the opportunity to eat their local cuisine.
And also supermarkets are a way to get utilities like deodorants, toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoos,
Body
in case
wash.
And like a lot of times, sometimes actually Airbnbs don't include those stuff, so it's your best way. Plus a lot of times, if for example you get to your destination very late, a lot of times restaurants close pretty early in Europe, so that's your best chance to actually be able to grab some type of food so you don't die from hunger. Tip number 6, do research. So a lot of times people go to Europe with the notion of what they think they know, like especially for big cities like Paris, Rome, Amsterdam. Like try to do your research for food. So you can go to Instagram or Google reviews I think Google reviews is more, there's way more reviews than Yelp compared to here because people in Europe really don't use Yelp.
Yeah.
Those are like your best tools to actually find like local restaurants because you want to avoid the tourist traps in the center of most European cities.
And also for Sino, for Instagram, I think a good hashtag to look is like blank, which is the city you're going to, and then eats. Like for example, if you're going to Paris, look up hashtag Paris eats. And I think that's where you're able to get a lot of pictures of local cuisines.
Or hashtag blank food. Also, do your research about what you want to visit. Like, of course, everybody's gonna do top 10 blank. So like, always try to like go with the hidden gem or unknown places. Also walk around. If you see something intriguing or you just don't know what else to do, walking around, you'll eventually find something that you would have never even known about unless you like just walk past it.
Definitely also for me, for cute like Instagram spots in the city you want to go to, I go on Pinterest and like look up the city where I want to go. Then there's going to be a bunch of posts of like different travel bloggers, different fashion bloggers, of people going to like, oh, top 10 most Instagrammable posts or top 10 hidden gems. So I think Pinterest is a really good resource as well. Also, I think it's really important is research on the fashion. One of the experiences I had is I go on Instagram and I follow all these travel bloggers and they have like the most impeccable like, oh, I want to dress like that, so I'll buy outfits for that city, but does not match at all with the aesthetic or like what the locals are wearing. So definitely go for the locals and not go for the gram. I learned from experience in Paris when I was trying to be like top Instagram blogger, but I just like stuck out and sort down the first couple of days.
Just a final thing about research, look at like what the manners of the cultures are in the place that you're visiting. So for example, here in the US, we obviously like to have like small talk and stuff because, you know, it's like not awkward
it's
for
customary.
us. Yeah, but in a lot of European cities, you just don't really do that.
Small talk. You just say hi.
Yeah. So it just depends on the city. So we can't get too specific about that.
Tip number 7, don't only stay in one city. I think one really important thing and one important thing about Europe is that they're a part of the European Union. So you have very easy access to go any type of city within train, airplanes, and it's very, very cheap.
So yeah, to add on to that, so airplane flights usually can range from either 10 euros to 100 euros, depending how far or the season. Also on top of that, pretty much every European country has trains that go to pretty much all their other cities, and it's really good to actually visit their other cities from the countries that you go to because it's a good way to actually learn about the actual country itself and actually meet other cultures or subcultures within the country.
Yeah.
So yeah, within 2 weeks you can go to 3 countries.
Yeah, it's
at
insane.
Worst or more, depending how crazy you are like me.
I like to manage with no more than 3 cities.
Yeah, but if you go for more than 2 weeks, you can add on even more.
Yeah.
Tip number 8, book big monuments in advance. In a lot of cities, you're gonna have the issue where a lot of people want to see the same things as you because obviously we're all there for a reason. So you're gonna have to book ahead because, for example, we went to Barcelona and we wanted to see La Sagrada Familia and we didn't get to go inside because everything was booked. It was not the off season, it was high season.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
it was booked for 2 days too. So it wasn't like, oh, we can't go today, let's go to tomorrow because it was fully booked.
We learned from there and we just decided, all right, any big, you don't have to do it for the small monuments because obviously people don't really like try to see all the same things depending how popular it is. So
but
you
for
don't
the
have
big
to.
ones.
Yeah, for the big ones, get your tickets in advance. That way, also you get to skip the line.
Tip number 9, go during low season. I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed from our first trip from Europe to our second trip in Europe is that we went to the high season versus the low season. Tremendous difference of like there's just some type of peace and tranquility when you go to the off season that you feel like you're just like going in the city with locals.
Yeah.
And also you have 9 out of 10 times less chances of being pickpocketed, less chances of being scammed, and also less chances of people hating you because not everyone's invading your city.
Also, like, the scammers are just not there for some reason. They're probably on vacation from all the money they made, so good on them.
So the off seasons, especially for Europe, is anywhere from January, so after Christmas, to March. And then again, the low season goes from like mid-September, where everyone goes back to school, to mid-November, so before Thanksgiving, because I feel after Thanksgiving, that's where the holiday season really picks up. Airline tickets are also really cheap, and also I feel like certain monuments and certain events are cheaper in the lower season.
Yeah.
Depending on the city.
Yeah, so that's an advantage, big advantage. And hotels and Airbnbs, just everything is cheaper in terms of booking stuff.
Yeah.
And tip number 10, bring sneakers. In Europe, you're gonna probably end up doing a lot of walking because a lot of European cities are super old when you think about it. So they were not built to be used by cars like in the US, where we have a lot of highways and stuff. They mostly rely on walking and public transportation. For example, somebody likes to bring boots and heels and anything that's not a sneaker for the gram. And after that, she has had the realization that it's not efficient because a lot of these cities, the floor or the ground is cobblestone, which you're gonna not have a good time if you don't have sneakers.
The moral of the story is bring fashionable sneakers. If you can't wear your little heels, if you can't wear your little sandals, just bring fashionable sneakers and just make it work.
If you don't care about fashion, just focus on comfort, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
The comfort of the sneakers, because you're gonna end up walking a lot throughout the day.
Yeah. To end this video, we're gonna give one more extra tip, which is I think one of the most essential tips that you need to have is in Europe, they use a different energy socket. So what we use, we're gonna link it down, is a really good one that we find in Amazon. So what you need to find when you buy in a converter is C or F converters. And they're easy to find on Amazon. Their ranges like most from like, it's gonna be no more than $20. So the ones I bought, it's really useful because they have little USB ports.
Yeah.
So
thank you for watching our first YouTube video. If you actually stick till the end, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button.
Or leave a comment of any future plans or any future travels to Europe or anywhere you've been to Europe.
Yeah, we're actually into that, and we like talking to people about traveling. So, thank you.